My name's Charlotte Bevan, and I've been working as a SANS representative on the Embrace UK PMRT collaborations for several years now. This is work that SANS has worked on for almost a decade, trying to establish robust, high-quality review in the case of every single child death. And a key principle for SANS as part of that review is that the parents are fully engaged, informed that the review is taking place, and offered the opportunity to give their questions and their perspectives of care. Robust, high-quality review in the case of a baby death is incredibly important, because what we've seen from previous inquiries and research done in this area is not only are parents not informed that a review is taking place, but the quality of those reviews is not high. And it's extremely rare for parents to be invited to give their questions and their perspectives of care to the review panel or team. So parents have the greatest stake of all in understanding why their baby died. It's their baby. Making sense of what happened will be part of their grief journey, will probably be part of absorbing this event into their lives. And therefore answering those questions as part of the review process is absolutely key. It's incredibly rare when a baby dies unexpectedly for a parent not to have a question about what happened to their baby and why their baby died. They'll be asking, was there something wrong with my care? Was there something wrong with me, with reactions that I had, with the way I managed my pregnancy? They will automatically blame themselves, and they will look for answers to try to explain this tragic situation. Therefore, they're absolutely key to the review process, and answering their questions is important for their whole lifelong experience of grief and the death of their baby, and assimilating this into their lives. Parents sit at the centre of their care. They're the only ones who have a 360-degree perspective on everything that happens to them. So their narrative, their version of events, their questions around versions of events, which may not always be recorded in their notes, are absolutely essential to getting a full picture of care, even the clinical bits of care that may not be in the notes. It may be the case that not all parents want to engage in the review of their baby's death, but the offer should be there. And what researchers have found is that parents want to engage in very different ways. So some parents want to have a face-to-face meeting with somebody to ask questions and describe their perspective of their care. Some parents would prefer to do that via email or on the telephone. What's important is that these offers are made available to parents, because this is a very difficult and sensitive time, and parents may struggle to engage in the immediate aftermath of their baby's death, but might want to several weeks later. So that offer should be kept open for as long as possible before the review will actually have to take place. And parents should be informed that that's the case, that there will be a kind of lifespan to the review, and there'll be a point beyond which they probably won't be able to give their perspective of care. It's important to be flexible to parents and to be sensitive to their needs, and to make sure that any communication you have with them is centred on them, on the type of death that they have. So you don't send them a feedback form about a stillbirth if their experience was a neonatal death. All of these things will be very important to parents, that you use the name of their baby if you know it, and that you use the words "I am sorry." So SANS has been very instrumental. All our literature at SANS includes the words "I am sorry," and it's important to note that saying sorry is not an admission of legal liability for the death of that baby. Saying sorry is just an expression of human compassion and empathy, and parents, we know at SANS, really value the expression of the word sorry. So we have included in all the sort of template letters that we've developed at the PMRT for parenting engagement, we've included this phrase, "I am sorry that your baby has died." And I think that's a very important part of being sensitive and parent-centred. The pathway sets out a kind of week-by-week engagement process with parents, including right up to the point in which the findings are reported back to them. It sets out principles, it has template letters, information leaflets and things that clinicians can use to just ensure that the principles of engagement are sensitive, meaningful, parent-centred, and that things are communicated in a clear, honest and open way.
What was really good is that we had time to think about the questions we wanted to ask, and then we had the midwife involved in the study that came to our home to discuss those questions and take our points. Obviously we sort of review the events a million of times in our heads, so going through every step of before, during and after what happened to us with our baby. It was really good to go through that with a very friendly midwife.
So you found the home visit was important?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Not having to go back to hospital where it all happened in order to meet them was very good. I mean, we did go back the following day. But of course, you've got the memory of what happened the day before, and if you have to go back 2 months down the line, again, it brings back the memory. So, it's just good to come and see for them, and it's very kind for them to come and see us as well at home.
What was good is that we had a letter with coming back with the full answers to the questions we asked, so things we maybe thought could have been done differently, if for example the ambulance could have come quicker or anything that could have, so we had answers to all the questions, so the midwife involved in the study really captured our questions, and we definitely had the answers to those questions that were taken to the board of professionals. So we didn't know all that process, but at least we knew we were involved in that process.